Hello, my friend. I'm going to be speaking to us women in business or ministry, and we're going to be talking about 3 mental health tips that are going to help us to thrive in our mental health. These are really, really important, and they may seem very basic and common, but there's so much power in them if we actually did them. And for our mental health and well-being, these are important things, important steps, important reminders that I have to often remind myself, because sometimes I fall short in these things. So just basically basic 3 things they're going to help us stay walk in optimal health mentally. Okay, the first thing for us women, whether we are in leading roles or we have running a business, family, if you're a woman running your family, it takes a lot of work, right? Because actually that's the priority. The family is always a priority. So this applies to any of us who or just have or entrepreneurs, busy moms, etc. Okay, so the first thing is that we have to set and protect our boundaries. Yes, that seems like such a common thing to say, but when we don't have boundaries, we are all over the place. We say yes to everything, or we say no when we're supposed to be saying yes, or we say yes when we're supposed to say no. So we have to set and protect boundaries. You hear me? I said not only set them, because we're good at setting them. I'm so good at setting boundaries. I'm so good at planning. Now carrying it out, that's where the challenge comes in. And hope I'm not the only one here. So the first thing is to set and protect our boundaries, because boundaries are essential. Without your boundaries, it's kind of like the water you're pouring in a bucket full of holes. Things go in and then they don't stay. It's kind of, there's no guardrail, there's no protection. So they're important because so how do we do this? We define our working hours, and some of us that work at home, okay, this is really important, because when you work at home, it's almost like the work time and the home time, they kind of all mesh together, right? So set specific work hours. Okay, I'm reading my notes so I don't forget anything. Limit the time that you spend checking emails, and the time that you spend doing business related things. If you're like me, who have more than one business that I have to take care of, right? So sometimes you're almost doing business all the time. So you want to make sure that you set boundaries. This is business time. This is home time. This is me time. So you have to keep set and keep those boundaries, because, and then say yes to the things that are really aligned to your priorities. You don't have to say yes to things that it's going to be a waste of your time. Learn to say no, and then learn to say yes to the right things. Okay. So that's tip number 1, is that you set and protect your boundaries, because it is so critical to your mental health and well-being. And also scheduling your personal time, because that should not be negotiable. It's kind of like the time that you schedule to your one-on-one calls, whether it's your coaching calls, your business calls. Also schedule that time for yourself, personal time. Those are all part of setting boundaries, so that you get the time that you need, and then everything else gets the time that it needs. Okay. So yes, set and protect your boundaries. Number 2 tip is to prioritize your self-care. Okay, I almost forgot what I was going to say. Self-care. Prioritize your self-care. Prioritize rest. Okay, I don't know, I'm preaching to the choir, but rest is important. Need I say more? Most of us who are busy women, whether we're in business, busy moms, ministry leaders, women who are on the go, those overachievers. Yes, you know who you are. But when we don't take time to rest and do self-care, and self-care, let me clarify. Self-care is not necessarily getting a manicure and pedicure. That's part of it. Or looking good on the inside. That's part of it. But self-care really starts from the inside. It starts with rest, relaxation, living a stress-free life, if there's any such thing. Where there's good stress, there's bad stress. But decreasing your stress level, doing the things that are going to increase relaxation and just reduce stress, things that are going to increase your resilience, and things that are going to help you to stay healthy and well, your emotional health. So when I say self-care, I'm talking about things that are from the inside and practical things that you can do to implement self-care. Of course, taking a walk, exercise, doing the things that are going to just, increase those endorphins and those good hormones in the brain and all over your body so that you feel good. And this is going to help to recharge you and make you feel more able to adapt and resist to other challenging situations and gives you peak performance in whatever you're doing. So self-care, rest and self-care is not a luxury. It is a necessity for you to function and thrive in your mental health and just your overall health. So that's tip number 2. And some other things also, you can journal. Prayer is absolutely the best self-care thing that you can do. Talking to God is going to reduce your stress. I promise you. There's nothing like talking to God in prayer that's going to decrease your stress, because you just carry your burdens and leave it at his feet. So anyway, prioritize rest and self-care. That's tip number 2. Okay. So tip number 3 is connect, have a support network, and everyone needs someone. No one is an island. So if you don't have your community, your group, you have to try and get one. You have to go and reach out to have some kind of a support, because when you get weary and tired, you need someone. Hey sis, get up, let's go, right? You need someone to help motivate you, encourage you, and help you get up, because we all there are times that no one is always up all the time. There are times that you're going to be down. You're going to need a community, a support group, whether that's even a coach or a mentor or another peer group, a community. Whether it's a practical way to do that, get connected to a group of women in business related to yours or so forth, or a ministry group or peer group, something that you are interested in, a group, a support group that is, you guys are all interested in the same thing. Just, there's nothing like it, have that connection, community. It is important to have in a community. We're not ever supposed to not have community, because that's how we live. That's how we thrive as human beings. And then schedule, a routine time to connect with that support group. Okay. Those are the 3 tips, general tips for staying healthy in your mind as a busy women, moms, entrepreneurs, ministry leaders, businesswomen, whatever you want to call it, those high achieving women on the go. So in summary, the 3 tips are: number 1, set and protect your boundaries, because you just have to. Trust me. If you don't, it's like anything goes and you're going to be burnt out. Did you hear me? Burnt out. So yes, we know how that goes. And number 2, prioritize rest and self-care, because you need it to recharge and rejuvenate and get your peak performance on. And then number 3, and invest in a support network that is going to be your tribe to help you to, to keep going. So these things are all going to affect your mental health. So those are my tip for all of us today. Okay. Till next time. Bye-bye.